Hi all, good morning. I hope I am audible as well as visible. All students are able to listen to me. Kindly confirm the audio and the video. So we're talking about climatic classifications, yes? कल यूपीएससी का नोटिफिकेशन भी आ गया, so notification is also out for people who are preparing for 2025. I think KGS has also taken a special session on YouTube on filling up the form, and this year the name Aditya stands to be special. So we had Aditya, and we were talking about Aditya Srivastav, All India Rank 1. That was last year. Then MPPCS 2022 result also came. Deepika Patidar is the rank 1. And another student, who was my student, Aditya Narayan Tiwari, has secured second rank. So yesterday I wasn't aware of the result. Yesterday he sent me a message, old student, and he said, "Sir, it's been long, a lot of wait, long wait." It's my honor to inform you that your student secured second rank. Unfortunately, could not keep up UPSC preparation, so he wasn't able to keep up the UPSC preparation due to some financial constraints. But he decided to go for MPPCS. Concepts and methods of your teaching helped me a lot in geography and answer writing. And I would like to express my sincere gratitude to you, sir. So, looking forward to you also applying them. We really generally do not get to keep track of the students when they come and they tell us कि सर आपके स्टूडेंट थे ये किया वो किया. So that's really good, and I'm looking at you also doing that. अब एक बात बताओ, ठीक है? आप congratulate कर रहे हो, सब कुछ कर रहे हो, and if possible I'll ask Aditya to come and discuss his strategy for MPPCS. There also I will surely raise a question to Aditya that I am known to be, like strict about this no nonsense idea about geography or the subject or this examination. Motivation to a point is okay. Then we need to have a lot of, work in that. Now, here I have a question. प्रीति पटेल पूछ रही हैं, सर गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको का नाम चेंज हो गया है. हैज द नेम ऑफ गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको चेंज्ड? Hello sir, please bring your class for asking other doubts not related to how to fill forms, as coaching is charging high fees for mentorship. Quickly. हैज द गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको चेंज? तो आप ऐसे आदित्य नारायण रैंक 2 लेकर आए, आदित्य श्रीवास्तव रैंक 1 लेकर आए. वर दे कॉट इन दिस कि गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको का नाम चेंज हो गया क्या? जल्दी से बताओ, कौन चेंज कर सकता है नाम? हु कैन चेंज द नेम? हु कैन चेंज द नेम? सर गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको का नाम चेंज हो गया. ये जो क्वेश्चन भी पूछ रहे हैं, मैं उनसे भी पूछना चाहता हूँ, आर यू सीरियस अबाउट दिस एग्जाम? आर यू सीरियस अबाउट दिस एग्जाम? व्हाट्सएप से तैयारी कर रहे हैं तो प्लीज़ देखिए, आई हैव स्टूडेंट्स who really have a lot of regard for what I teach them. And प्रीति पटेल, you may not like this, but गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको का नाम चेंज हो गया। हाँ, आपने उसकी स्पेलिंग ज़रूर गलत लिखी है बिटिया। तो प्रीति पटेल जी ये सवाल करेंगे तो फिर आपके लिए तो मैं विलन हो जाऊंगा, बट आई रियली फील कि दिस इज नॉट फेयर टू बी आस्क्ड। ठीक है, डोनाल्ड ट्रंप कह रहे हैं कि हम उसका नाम गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको रख देंगे और आप उस पर प्रश्न पूछ रही हैं प्रीति पटेल जी। आर यू सीरियस अबाउट दिस एग्जामिनेशन? सो डोनाल्ड ट्रंप कम्स विद द क्लेम कि उसको गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको नहीं गल्फ ऑफ अमेरिका करूंगा। एंड प्रीति पटेल कम्स एंड आंसर्स दिस। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप कुछ भी बात करें, कल को हम कोई भी नाम दे दें तो वो हो जाएगा क्या ज्योग्राफी में? ये समझ में आया प्रीति पटेल? आई एम रियली अशेम्ड दैट आई एम योर टीचर। और मैं ये भी नहीं समझा पाया हूँ आपको। हैव आई टोल्ड यू कि यार ये सब नाम होने में प्रॉपर एक इसका प्रोसीजर होता है। इंडियन इंटरनेशनल हाइड्रोग्राफी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विल ऑल्सो गो इन टू दैट। ट्रम्प वॉज टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑल्सो फॉर कैनेडा। वो कह रहा है कैनेडा भी हम ले लेंगे, कैनेडा हमारी 51 प्रोविंस होगी, ग्रीनलैंड भी ले लेंगे। और ये प्रीति पटेल जो हैं, सर गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको का नाम चेंज हो गया है। आप बताओ, आप बताओ कि ये जो क्वेश्चन है क्या ये सीरियस क्वेश्चन है? I started the class with a student who had financial constraints, यूपीएससी छोड़कर एमपीपीसीएस दिया and secured All India rank 2. Yes, I think that should be inspiring to us. Imagine what kind of inspiration you leave for the teacher when you tell sir गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको का नाम चेंज हो गया। प्रीति पटेल ध्यान रखिएगा, particularly stopping you with this, your whole batch is watching. Everyone who's in my classes, please get this. If you're asking questions frivolously, your whole batch is watching. वी आर वेटिंग फॉर यू टू क्रिएट हिस्ट्री। बढ़िया काम करो यार। इतना तो हम बता चुके होंगे, आपको समझा चुके होंगे कि ऐसी छोटी छोटी बातों से आपका ना पास हो रहा है ना फेल हो रहा है। हाँ, टाइम ज़रूर वो कर लिया प्रीति पटेल जी, आप माफ़ी मांग रही हैं, माफ़ी मांगो पूरे बैच से भाई। और आगे भी मैं क्लियर कर रहा हूँ। ये बैच में पहले भी स्टार्टिंग में भी देयर आर पीपल, ये एट अफोर्डेबल प्राइस आपको क्लासेस ऑफर कर दी गई हैं। तो देयर आर पीपल हु मिस यूज इट। फालतू का ड्रामा किया उन लोगों ने कि साहब हम कुछ भी पूछेंगे और हमने पैसा दिया वैसा दिया है। वो सब बराबर है, वो सब बराबर है। यू योर सेल्फ नो वट क्वालिटी ऑफ एजुकेशन यू आर गेटिंग एट द प्राइस दैट केजीएस इज चार्जिंग। मतलब यू कैन गो एंड कंपेयर, आपको वो कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर नहीं मिलते हैं वो 50,000 की कोचिंग में, एक्सेप्ट फॉर नोट्स। टाइम हमारे लिए कोई वो नहीं है। वी आर मेकिंग श्योर दैट वी गिव यू द बेस्ट, बट प्लीज डू नॉट डाउनग्रेड द क्लास बाय सर गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको का नाम चेंज हो गया बिकॉज यू हर्ड डोनाल्ड ट्रंप। और मैं गारंटी दे रहा हूं कि आपने डोनाल्ड ट्रंप की भी स्वेरिंग इन और वो सब फॉलो नहीं किया है। बस एक कहीं से चटपटी न्यूज ली एंड यू थॉट दैट वी शुड डिस्कस दैट। डू नॉट डू दैट। So your teacher came inspired, thought that rank 2 will inspire you. Not a good way to bring down the class by doing this. सोचिए, और अगर आप पढ़ ही लेते हैं कहीं पर, सपोज यू केम अक्रॉस दैट इन द न्यूज, उसको पूरा पढ़ लीजिए ना, उसी में लिखा होगा दिस इज व्हाट डोनाल्ड ट्रंप इज सेइंग। सेइंग से तो कुछ नहीं हो जाता ना। यस, चाइना इज सेइंग साउथ चाइना सी बिलोंग्स टू चाइना। डिड वी टॉक अबाउट दिस और नॉट? सो डोंट डू दैट। सर आपने मॉइस्चर रिजीम में लिखवाया, दिस इज शिल्पी आस्किंग अ क्वेश्चन, वैलिड क्वेश्चंस, आई वुड रियली लव टू आंसर दोस क्वेश्चंस, नॉट दीज फ्रिवुलस वंस। प्लीज आपकी क्लास है, उसको खराब मत करिए। सर आपने मॉइस्चर रिजीम में लिखवाया ही एडेड व्हाट? प्लीज स्टॉप एडिंग द चैट सो दैट आई कैन रीड इट। ही एडेड सीजनल वेरिएशन ऑफ प्रेसिपिटेशन, बट प्रेसिपिटेशन इफेक्टिवनेस इंडेक्स, प्रेसिपिटेशन इफेक्टिव इंडेक्स के नेम ऐड है अभी टेबल बनवाई जो। सर आपने मॉइस्चर रिजीम में लिखवाया ही एडेड सीजनल वेरिएशन, हाँ ठीक है लिखवाया तो, बट प्रेसिपिटेशन इफेक्टिवनेस इंडेक्स के नाम ऐड है टेबल बनवाई जो। बेटा मैंने आपको समझाया ना कि उसमें क्या उन्होंने किया। अब उस टेबल में आपका क्या है, लेट मी गो एंड चेक टेबल में क्या लिखा हुआ है। व्हाट इज इन द टेबल, लेट मी चेक। उस टेबल का नाम है सीजनल वेरिएशन ऑफ इफेक्टिव मॉइस्चर। SVEM। क्या दिक्कत है इसमें आप बताइए कि मॉइस्चर जो है वो सीजनली वेरी करता है। व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन? सो व्हाट इज रॉन्ग विद दैट? हमने आपको बोला मॉइस्चर इंडेक्स में, पहले उन्होंने मॉइस्चर रिडीम में इंडेक्स बनाया, मॉइस्चर का इंडेक्स बनाया, यस और नो, वेयर ही मेड दोज मॉइस्चर प्रोविंसेस। एक बनाया मॉइस्चर इंडेक्स। मॉइस्चर इंडेक्स को क्या रखा था? P माइनस पीई बाई पीई इंटू 100, ऐसा था ना। इस पर हमारे पास क्या आए थे? 9 कैटेगरीज के। अब क्वेश्चन क्या है ये बताइए, व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम? ये तो इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं होनी चाहिए। मॉइस्ट क्लाइमेट्स, 5 seasonal categories, moist and arid climate, 5 different categories based on ये क्या था? aridity index, humidity index। have you all memorized this? इसमें क्या डाउट क्या है? 5 categories each, 5 seasonal categories each were there. What is the doubt in this? ऐसा तो ये हम पहली बार तो नहीं कर रहे हैं। आई थिंक वी हैव डन दैट बिफोर ऑल्सो। शिल्पी प्रॉब्लम क्या है? डाउट बताइए ना, डाउट बताइए, ये क्या पूछ रहे हैं ये नहीं समझ में आया। ये तो कॉपन तक ने दिया था, कॉपन ने भी तो दिया था ये। कॉपन का इंडेक्स क्या था? ABCDE प्लस सीजनल वेरिएशन ऑफ ह्यूमिडिटी। यस, थॉर्नवाइट भी कर रहा है सर। पिछले इंडाइसिस में कनेक्ट कर रहे थे, SVM इंडेक्स है अलग से, कंफ्यूजन हो गई थी। भाई क्या कंफ्यूजन हो गया? SVEM सीजनल वेरिएशन ऑफ रेनफॉल ही तो है, सीजनल वेरिएशन ऑफ रेनफॉल। अगर उसको इंग्लिश में इफेक्टिव वो लिख दिया तो क्या दिक्कत है? टेल मी, एवरीवेयर डिड आई नॉट से दैट फ्रॉम द वेरी बिगिनिंग that your A is megatherm, heat is there, but how much water is coming? If it is coming for the full year, it is F. If it is coming only for monsoon months, 4 months, it is M. If it is coming in summer months only, it is W, and it is S। ये second layer था या नहीं था? Was this about seasonal variation or not? तो शिल्पी जी आपने तो कॉपन भी नहीं पढ़ा है, दैट मीन्स एवरीबडी प्लीज डू नॉट जस्ट अटेंड द क्लासेस। आपको लगता है आदित्य नारायण या आदित्य श्रीवास्तव रैंक 1 रैंक 2 ऐसे ही ले आए, वो जाकर वो करते हैं। एनी वन हु हैज डन दिस कॉपन, उसके लिए इस इंडेक्स में तो कोई दिक्कत ही नहीं होनी चाहिए कि उसने इसके भी इंडेक्स बनाए। सीजनल वेरिएशन, मॉइस्चर कम्स बट इट वेरीज विद सीजन, इट वेरीज विद सीजन, और उसने वही तो यूज किया है, SW ही यूज किया है। RSW S1 या S2W2 यही किया ना? ट्रू और नॉट? R means rainfall throughout the year. R means R for rainfall. S is summer deficit, W is winter deficit, but if it is too much of shortage then it is S2 and W2। सेम ही तो है। फिर से कह रहा हूँ, everyone who's attending the classes, my promise to all of you, you only do the classes, you do not read it and memorize it, no chance of clearing it. मैं फालतू की हवा भरता ही नहीं यार, नो 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 चांस. सर दूसरा कोचिंग आर आस्किंग मोर पैसा लेस पैसा, नो इमोशनल कार्ड ऑन दैट, वेरी क्लियर. कॉपन से ज्यादा आसान कुछ नहीं. आपने कॉपन को जो भी बोला है, कॉपन का आपने देखा ए बी सी डी, उसने क्या किया, टेम्परेचर एंड मॉइस्चर और प्रेसिपिटेशन दोनों का कॉम्बो कर दिया. ही मेड अ कॉम्बो ऑफ बोथ. थॉर्नवाइट सेड कॉम्बो इज रॉन्ग. थॉर्नवाइट सेड टेम्परेचर का अलग, थर्मल प्रोविंसेस, मॉइस्चर का सेपरेट, मॉइस्चर प्रोविंस. देन कॉपन सेड ओके, कॉम्बो इज देयर, एंड देन सीजन के साथ चेंज होता है, सीजन के साथ रेनफॉल चेंजेस. सो थॉर्नवाइट ऑल्सो सेड यस, first break the combo, make two indices, one is the moisture index and other is the precipitation efficiency and effectiveness से moisture आ गया और दूसरा thermal index हो गया. Then Thornwright said yeah, I agree with this कि seasonal variation of rainfall happens, but I also want to tell you that there is seasonal variation of insolation. So he says not only one season, I'll take seasonal variation in both the things, heat also and moisture also. इसमें English है भाई, इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं हुई. All the people guarantee दे रहा हूँ, आप मेंस पास नहीं कर सकते आपकी अगर लैंग्वेज नहीं है तो. I am the same teacher who's talking Shuddh Hindi in Hindi class and English in English class. A Hindi student without language on Hindi, वो पास नहीं हो पाएगा. English student वो पास नहीं हो पाएगा. Moment a new term came, SVEM. Oh my God, ये तो बहुत खतरनाक है भाई. सिंपल वर्ड्स में सीजनल वेरिएशन ऑफ मॉइस्चर, सीजनल वेरिएशन ऑफ रेनफॉल. और आप बताओ, कोड से भी तो पता चल जाता है. आर मीन्स फॉर मी, आर का मतलब ही रेन होता है, डी का मतलब डेफिसिट होता है, रेन थ्रू आउट द ईयर. एस समर शॉर्टेज, डब्ल्यू विंटर शॉर्टेज, समर सीवियर शॉर्टेज, विंटर सीवियर शॉर्टेज, सेम थिंग. Again requesting many students are preparing for civil services. They attend coaching, सस्ता भी करेगा, महंगा भी करेगा, टाइम भी देगा. They never get a chance. They never get a chance to read this. And they are always living in this paradise that अगर मैं एग्जाम देती या देता तो मैं पास हो जाता. नहीं होना है भाई. Start getting into this. Exam is coming closer. Please get this. Get that? So आपने पूछा, मैंने बता दिया, बट ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं है. There was nothing new in this. He just named those indices as technical things. हाँ, ये जरूर है कि he also, फिर मैंने कहा ना, प्रॉब्लम ये है, how can I explain higher order things to people who don't even know Koppen? वो कहते हैं, आपने सुना है वो हिंदी में कहावत है, भैंस के आगे बीन बजाना, क्या फायदा. सो मॉइस्ट क्लाइमेट में क्या होता है? मॉइस्ट क्लाइमेट रूल इज रेन. मॉइस्ट है इसीलिए तो रेन हो रहा है. एरिड क्लाइमेट में रूल इज नो रेन, तो इधर रेन का शॉर्टेज होता है. बट इफ इन अ मॉइस्ट क्लाइमेट लाइक Amazon, if always rain is coming, no problem. But if some time in the year rain does not come, that will be called dry season. So for a moist climate, if you want to check their season, you see which season is arid. That is why he used aridity index for moist. In arid regions, as a rule, they are dry. But in some season, they might get some rain. That they would call as their rainy season. Yes or no? So for arid, you find out which are the humid times. So for that, he created humidity index. But I am very clear, bachcho. I am very clear. People are happy with dictations, making tables, making notes in beautiful multicolored pens. Red, blue, green, and whatever. And getting those, shabashis from parents and teachers. Wow, bachche, aapke notes bahut sundar hai. It won't count. It won't count. See, I'm not here teaching you for a graduation degree which you will take. I'm teaching you something for which, if you are able to perform, will give you the top job in the country. So seriously, no marks for those beautiful colored handwriting notes without getting what is it conveying. This is a very simple thing. Just like Koppen made major temperature precipitation based regions, then he brought the second level, which was about season. Similarly, Thorndike also made temperature pressure regions, but this time he made temperature region separate, temperature region separate, precipitation. I have a tendency to say pressure instead of precipitation. I'm sorry for that. Temperature region separate, 9 temperature regions and 9 precipitation regions. Then he is going the same way that season के साथ बदलता है, तो season के साथ he identified moisture and all that. So please do not blindly copy. Do not blindly copy. Simple चीज़ों को technical ना बनाएं. जो बहुत ही सिंपल चीज़ें हैं उन्हें टेक्निकल बनाना बंद करें. आई हैव अ रिक्वेस्ट एंड particularly to all the students who want to come to Thornwhite. I gave you a evaluation point in Thornwhite that Thornwhite's classification is not for beginners. Coppin's classification is for beginners. Thornwhite classification is not for beginners. So that is why your teacher chose to first give you Coppin. कॉपन आपने देखा नहीं है, कॉपन पे मास्टरी नहीं किया, आप थॉर्नवाइट पे कमेंट कर रहे हैं. इट वोंट मेक सेंस. रिक्वेस्ट प्लीज़ फॉलो द रूल्स. बाकी आपकी मर्ज़ी है, इतना कोई कठिन था नहीं और नोट्स भी इतने लिखवा दिए हैं कि आपको कुछ और पढ़ने की भी ज़रूरत नहीं है. बट वॉट यू नीड टू डू इज़ at least have some clarity why these people are working on that. Get that? So now let us talk about Trivartha's classification. Trivartha's classification. Please write down. Everyone, please write down. American climatologist Glenn Trivartha, American climatologist Glenn Trivartha looked at the climatic classifications of the world and was of the view that a global climatic classification must essentially be easy to understand and use. Must be easy to understand and use. Global climatic classification must essentially be easy to understand and use. Second, should give broad or macro climatic categories. Avoid micro detailing. Avoid micro detailing. Should be based on empirical data must have a genetic basis of categorization and have a real world correspondence. Must have a real world correspondence. Must have a real world correspondence. Keeping this in mind, keeping this in mind, he found he found Koppin's classification as a better suited global climatic classification. Thus he chose thus he chose to keep Koppin's categorization as the basis of his classification, which he further improved upon, which he further modified and improved upon. Get that? Get that? So we're talking about Trivartha, and Trivartha himself has contributed excessively on improving the climatic classification. You will also find Glenn Trivartha also father of population geography. So when we are doing population geography also, we'll be taking the name of Trivartha. So if you come across this, do not be alarmed. These people have made multiple contributions in geography, and he is apart from the work that he did in human geography, he's also modified this. And again, as I said, it's a very well thought of idea that like we must see the ease of things, how we can make it happen. Get that? Please write down. Trivartha divided the world climates. Trivartha divided the world climates into 6 types, categories. He also gave some subdivisions of these 6 categories, but firmly asserted firmly asserted that further subclassification must be left to the end user as per his utility of classification. He said हर चीज को गंगा type and all, no point, accommodating everything. No point accommodating everything. It is better that we leave it to the people who are coming next. Are we done? Let's look at the 6 categories. The 6 categories are again the same ones. A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E, F और G. ठीक है. A were as usual called the megatherms. A were as usual called the megatherms or tropical climate. Tropical climate. Get that? This was divided into, or same as winterless. Same criteria as Köppen. He will keep it winterless, frost-free zone. Temperature greater than 18 degrees Celsius throughout the year. Throughout the year. Further subclassified them into AR, AW, AM. AR, AW, and AM. He did not go for AS, because remember AS is an exception. AS will be seen as an exception. Everyone with me on this? क्या होंगे AR? We'll be looking at that also, but this is the tropical winterless which we are talking about. Get that? So no frost, temperature, this thing. So this is one that we must be clear about. How AR, AW, they were created, we will be talking about that. Get that? Now let's come to the B part. The B part is the dry climate. Arid and semi-arid. Yes. And he divided them into BW and BS. BW and BS. He created a criteria for that. He created that how would I call them as BW, what will be the basis. So the criteria was different from, but categories were the same. Let's come to C now. So what was C? C is called the subtropical climate. Subtropical climate. Remember we said that here the temperature might go below 18. Yes or no? So in this we had 8 or more months mean temperature of 8 or more months. 8 or more months, the mean temperature is greater than 10 degree Celsius. That's your subtropical. When we are talking about, that's what we are going to talk about. Now in this C, we will find out CS, CW and CF. CS, CW and CF, and A, B will also be possible. So the classification of A and B will also be possible. We'll be talking about that. Is everyone okay? So this was about, I'll be talking about this, but if you are asked to write in crisp sense, what will you do? So that's what we are talking about. Is everyone with me on this? D. D refers to the climate category of temperate and continental climates. Temperate climates and continental climates. Now, temperate can be on the coast also, and continental will definitely be in the interior. Continental will definitely be in the interior. Okay. Now, in the previous one, we said, that there will be temperature more than 10 degrees for 8 months. This time, 4 to 7 months with the mean temperature of 10 degrees. So, 4 to 7 months temperature is greater than 10 degrees. Here it was more than 8 months. Here it is 4 to 7 months. You can imagine the temperature is going down. The temperature is going down. We will have DO, oceanic, and DC. And we will have A, B, C here also. What are these? I will be talking about, so don't worry. Then we go to the E category. E is the boreal climate. E is the boreal climate. Boreal means tree related. Boreal climate. Where we have the taiga. Boreal is the taiga. Single R भी चलेगा इसमें. Boreal climate. You can understand boreal to be the taiga belt. This is the subarctic and subpolar region. 8 months mean temperature above 10 degrees Celsius, 4 to 7 months mean temperature above this thing, and here we will have 1 to 3 months average temperature. Everyone, can you see easy to remember criteria? That was all months above. Mean temperature above 18, 12 months. Here what do we have? 8 months, but the temperature is 10. Here we have 4 to 7 months. Here we have 1 to 3 months. Easy to remember, everyone? Easy to remember? And last is the polar climate. सब polar के बाद आ जाएगा polar climate. Polar, we also have frigid, and we also have the glacial side when we are talking about. So there we can have that. और let us keep it F only. इसको सिर्फ F पे रख रहे हैं, H वाले को, हिली वाले को ग्लेशियल में डाल दें. पोलर टाइप. Get that? इधर क्या क्राइटेरिया होने वाला है? All months have a mean monthly temperature below 10 degrees Celsius. All months. Or zero month above 10 degrees Celsius. All months. Everyone, why am I insisting on 0? So that you can see the trend coming. Here was 8, then 4 to 7, then 1 to 3, and here is 0. Can you see the ease of remembering this? This time his criteria is based on 10. That's what we are talking about. And they are further subdivided into FT and FI. Further subdivided into FT and FI. And no subcategories, same subcategories, EO and EC. EO and EC. So polar climate, Kaushik Saha is saying if both are same, so we should use or. That is okay. I am saying just to bring this, that we are coming to 0, that is there. But the real criteria is this. The real criteria is this. Do you get that? The real criteria is this. Why did I write 0? So that you can get to that 0. That's all. That is what I am talking about. A का सब क्लासिफाई कर दे. Let's look at A. हाउ विल ए ऑपरेट, सिर्फ ए का डिटेलिंग आपको दिखा रहा हूं. इक्वेटर 30 degrees north, 30 degrees south. Get that? So generally this is the region that we are talking about. Generally this is the region that we are talking about. Sunlight, heat, precipitation. Okay. Now I'm talking about AF. AF क्या होता है? Remember AF? AF was Köppen's code. Trivartha makes it AR. जल्दी बताइए AR क्या होगा? Quickly. What is AR for you? Rain throughout the year. Very good. Okay. So Köppen के लिए rain throughout the year था. Now I want to tell you that AR is less than 2 dry months. Rain throughout the year. Perfectly okay. Perfectly. Now I need to train you a little bit more. Less than 2 dry month. What is a dry month? What is a dry month? Dry month is rain less than 6 centimeter or 2.5 inch. Rain less than 6 centimeters or 2.4 inches. So remember Köppen. Köppen said AF means rain throughout the year and you will get 6 centimeter and above per this thing. ठीक है? मोहित साहू पहले मैथमेटिक्स तो समझ लो, उसके बाद जगह दिखा देंगे. ट्रॉपिकल वेट क्लाइमेट जो बता रहा हूं वो तो कर लो, वो तो बुक्स में लिखा हुआ है. एक बार समझोगे कि नहीं समझोगे? यस सुनो. Are we okay? So what will AW mean? AW will mean winter dry, no? Winter season. What is a dry month? Everyone, now you know that dry month has a specific meaning. So winter dry के लिए क्या बन गया अब? Dry season in that. Are we clear? So winter dry का क्या हो गया? Winter dry के लिए अब आपके लिए मैंने उसमें डाल दिया कि your dry would be that. How many months? 2 months. At least 2 months in the winter there will be no rain. At least 2 months in the winter there will be no rain. Is everyone okay? Winter dry is a normal thing. Winter dry is a normal thing. And what is AS? An exception. He ended it. तो इसको हमने एक्सेप्शन में डाला ही नहीं. He says this is an exception. This need not be put in the main classification. Is everyone with me on this? अब ए आर की लोकेशन देखनी थी. इज एवरीवन ओके? ए डब्ल्यू कहां जाएगा? ए डब्ल्यू उसके ऊपर चला जाएगा. ए डब्ल्यू विल गो अप. AS is an exception. Everyone clear with this? So, in the dry season, there would be rain. Winter will be the dry months. AM not included in original Trivartha classification, added later on basis of Koppens region. Rainfall in monsoon. So AM for Trivartha. Tropical monsoon. Tropical monsoon. At least 3 dry months are there. At least 3 dry months are there. In this, at least 2 dry months are there. Yes, no? AW. Everyone, can you see? Less than 2. This was less than 2. This was dry months. At least winter, in the winters you should have, winters should be this. At least 2 months, it can be more also. And in monsoon, he's saying in monsoon, tropical monsoon, at least one. इसमें 2 dry months, so it can be any amount. At least 3 dry months. That's what we are talking about of AM. Is everyone okay? इसको आप 0 to 2 लिख सकते हो, 0 to 2 months of dry months, 0 to 2 dry months. Get that? In this, we will have more than 2 months. More than 2 months, so it can be more than 2 months. And AS is that. And not included in original Trivartha. I did later on the basis of Köppen's region, Trivartha, tropical monsoon, at least 3 dry months would be there. Are we clear? The regions also clear to you? Let's come to B now. Köppen and Trivartha both called it as the dry climate. Both called it as the dry climate. There is nothing wrong with that. Absolutely same. But a different Trivartha used a different formula to ascertain the degree of aridity to subclassify into W and S. क्राइटेरिया त्रिवार्था का अलग था. Get that? Everyone with me on this? So the criteria is going to be different for both of them. What is that formula? Ascertain the degree of aridity. For ascertaining the degree of aridity, the precipitation degree C and मोहित साहू लोकेशन. मोहित साहू आपको तो पता है लोकेशन क्या है? आपको तो पिछला लोकेशन भी पता था. ट्रू और नॉट? आप बताओ. एवरीवन, monsoonal land are not latitudinally complete or not? Latitudinally complete or not? एएस जो है एक्सेप्शन है, उसी तरह से एएम भी एक्सेप्शन है. पूरी बेल्ट तो दे नहीं सकते ना उसको. पूरी बेल्ट का मोस्टली वो दे दिया तो एएम कहाँ पर होगा? मोस्टली ऑन द ईस्टर्न मार्जिन, बिकॉज यू आर लाइंग ऑन द ईस्टर्ली बेल्ट. ठीक है मोहित साहब, सबकी तो हम ज्योग्राफी नहीं दे रहे, सबकी नहीं दे रहे. आप ही ने डाला था, मैंने तब भी आपको टोका था. ये तो मुझे पता है ना कौन बुक से पढ़ के बता रहा है. ये ट्रॉपिकल वेट क्लाइमेट 5 to 10 डिग्रीज, तो जहां नोट्स पढ़े मोहित साहू वहां से और पढ़ लो. ये तो मैंने कहा कि ये तो बाद में डाला गया ना. नॉट इंक्लूडेड, ही डिड नॉट इवन इंक्लूड दैट. जो उसने ओरिजिनल डाले थे, ये दो डाले थे, उसका उसने मैप भी बता दिया कि ये 20 to 40 हो जाएगा, प्रोबेबली 40 में भी जा सकता है, और ये जनरली कितना होगा, 5 to 10 होगा. सो जो आप कर चुके हैं अपने कोचिंग में, जहां पे भी कर चुके हैं, उसके ऊपर जब जा रहे हैं तो वही वाली बात है ना, सोचेंगे कि नहीं सोचेंगे. तो मॉनसून टाइप में देयर विल बी रेनफॉल ऑन द ईस्टर्न साइड, और अभी ये लैटिट्यूडनल चल रहा है, लॉन्गिट्यूडनल नहीं है. दैट इज वाई एएस को भी मैप में नहीं डाला. एएस इज ऑल्सो रेयर, नो. सो दिस इज व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. ठीक है मोहित जी. अब इस पे डिसाइड होना है कि विच वन विल बी बी एस एंड विच वन विल बी, ये आपका इंडेक्स अब डिसाइड करेगा. बी एस, बी डब्ल्यू. If the precipitation is less than, you are BW. And if the precipitation is less than or equal to twice, 2 times, then it is BS. सर ये तो वो भी हो सकता है. तो दो कंडीशन है. If the precipitation is less than this, then you are this. If the precipitation is more than this, but less than twice, less than twice. Did we understand BWBS का criteria? Is everyone clear on this? Are we clear? So अगर हम कॉपन की बात कर रहे थे, कॉपन ने दिया था 0 to 10, इसको क्या दे दिया था, ए एफ. ट्रू. इसको क्या दिया, ए डब्ल्यू. वी आर स्टिकिंग टू दैट. ए एफ हैज बीन मेड व्हाट, ए आर. एंड नाउ हियर वी आर विद बी. So whether this is BW or BS will be decided by that formula. So ये भी BW रहेगा, और यहाँ पर इन्होंने AM लिया. It is not a belt, it is on the eastern side. That is AM, which was added later. Everyone clear up to B? Everyone clear up to B? Now we're coming to C. ए बी आपके लिए बॉक्स भी बना दिया, तो जो लोग मैप ढूंढ रहे हैं, मोहित साहू ढूंढ रहा है कि कहाँ पर होगा लैटिट्यूड, तो मोहित साहू के लिए बॉक्स भी बना दिया। लेट्स कम टू द सी। सी को सब डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, सी रीजन। तो बॉक्स बना दे सी का। 30, 45। People who have done Koppen would understand this also. Would understand this also. Now we are on C. Now we are on C. यही region C है. This region is C. So he is going to classify them into C. So C what we will have is, C what we will have is, this will be called CF. And this was called CS. ये CS था. CS will now be cut. CS will now be cut. How will CS be cut? Quickly. CS is having two parts. Which wind is this? इधर तो ये थी ना. This westerly wind. Which season does westerly wind flow? Which season does westerly wind flow? Westerly wind flows which season? 12 months? Yes or no? 12 months or not? Westerly wind will flow all 12 months. If it is going to flow all 12 months, all 12 months, will it not get the rain? Will it not get the rain? So this part has to be divided. Only this part is SCS. Only the lower part is CS. Only the lower part is CS. The upper part will get rainfall. The northern part will continuously get rainfall. Do we get that? Seasonal shift will happen when the season will come, when the shift will happen, this will come down. When this will come down, then what will happen? Then rain will happen. Which rain? Winter rain will happen. Everyone with me on this? Are we clear? So what do we keep this as? We call this as, हमने यहाँ पर क्या डाला हुआ है? In this, what categories did we keep? C was divided into CS, CW and CF. Summer dry is done. CF. CF was divided into this was divided into CA and CB. CFA, sorry. CFB and CFA. So what's a CFA? British climate को भी हमने छोड़ा हुआ है, but we are talking about CFA. CS and summer dry because of shift of westerlies. CF rain full year. Remember that was CW for Köppen. In this, what we will have is, we will have a CW. CW is included. CW occurs within CF types. CW occurs within CF type. वो जो चाइना का था, यहाँ पर CW भी आप कर सकते. CF को मैंने बहुत कचरा किया है. So what is CFA? So CW is there. Then we have CFA and CFB. They are related to the temperature. Okay. So warmest month mean temperature is greater than 22 degrees Celsius. That is CFA. Warmest month mean temperature is less than 22 degree Celsius. Now we are left with the ऊपर वाला. तो इसको हम क्या कर देंगे? इसको हम CFA है तो CFB. We will call this as CFB. Everyone okay? So CS has been subdivided. CS has been subdivided. And CW is on the eastern side. CF is on the eastern side. CFA, CFB. D. We're talking about now the group D. 4 to 7 months, the temperature. 4 to 7 months, temperature is greater than two subdivisions DO and DC. D oceanic or marine on the coastal side, and DC is D continental. DC is D continental. तो सी एस के ऊपर वेस्टर्न साइड में सी एफ बी कैसे होगा? सी एफ मीन्स वॉट? रेन थ्रू आउट द ईयर. रोशनी, सी एफ मीन्स रेन थ्रू आउट द ईयर. सी एफ, सो वाई रेन थ्रू आउट द ईयर? क्योंकि वेस्टर्लीज थ्रू आउट द ईयर. 12 months westerlies are there. CF. And B because of the temperature. Please have a look, Roshni. So in this coldest month, temperature is greater than 0 degree Celsius. क्योंकि ओशियानिक है तो 0 नहीं जाएगा. 0 degree Celsius. But continental, think of Siberia. Will the continent go on that or not? Is everyone okay? So रोशनी का सी एफ बी भी समझ में आ गया आपको, सी एस भी समझ में आ गया. दिस इज वेयर वी आर. Criteria is clear. This is for D, this is for DO and DC. Is everyone with me on this? D, C, A. Just like C, A and B, we have for D also A and B, third letter has come here, 22 degrees Celsius. Everyone clear on this? Now we are on E. What is E? नॉर्मली कितना किया था हमने ई को? पिछले में 4 to 7 months आ गए थे. ई का ई का क्या रखना है? E was 1 to 3 months average temperature above. ये लिख दिया था. Did we write this also? Only a short frost free growing season. ये E हो गया. Do we get that? E. Now, whether it is subclassified or not, yes, E is very cold, but E can be two types: EO, oceanic, EO, EC, जैसे D को किया था ऐसे E को कर रहे हैं. And the temperature is coldest month average temperature above -10 degrees Celsius. Coldest month average temperature is below, because in continent it will be further more cold. Is everyone okay? 10 से अगर नीचे चला जाता, पिछले में 0 था, इसमें 10 हो गया. फ्रॉम 0 इट हैज बिकम 10. लास्ट इज F. F के लिए क्या रखा था? What was the criteria we had kept F? We said all months temperature is below 10 degrees Celsius. ये तो हमने पहले कर लिया था. Now we are going to turn F into FT and Fi, tundra and frigid. So what is the condition that we have attached here? Now there must be some condition, no? What is the condition? At least 1 month average temperature must be greater than 0 degree. Mana, everything is below 10. That is okay. But if at least you get 1 month of that ice to melt, that is your tundra region. That 1 month of ice to melt is your tundra region. That's what we are talking about. Is everyone with me on this? But in this, what will happen? All months. If all months the ice never melts, all months average temperature is below 0 degree Celsius. That's what we are talking about. Here we are saying permafrost region. Everyone with me on this? Sufyan has a question. Sir, AM for India only or other countries? Everyone, when I make this box, is it for a country? When I make this box, is it for a country or is it for a continent, eastern margin and western margin? Yes or no? So when I'm saying this as British type, this is also Vancouver type. When I call this as Labrador type because of Canada, it is also your eastern China or Valki, the Japan side. True or not? So when I'm talking of monsoon side definitely for Asia it will be the eastern part of it, eastern part of it. So China, Southeast Asia, and India east part will get that. But similar influences will be felt in African eastern side also. True or not? Similar influences when we have land on that, that will be there. And this is only for northern hemisphere. Will it happen for southern hemisphere also? So saying, sir, AM is only for India, that means you did not understand what the box is about. Everyone, now we clear? So quickly digest your Trivartha's climatic classification, and we will then go into applied climatology. Get that? So I'll meet you after break. Let's take a 5-minute break. 11:33 हो गया. 38, 39. We'll meet again. Everyone, are we back? Okay, so we were talking about this for Koppen for Trivartha. Okay, please write down, everyone. Trivartha also acknowledged. Trivartha also acknowledged a separate category as H. Separate category as H for highland climates. Acknowledge a separate category H for highland climates in which the altitude becomes the determinant of the climate. So not the winds, not the latitude that is there. Yes. As a result, as a result, as a result of this, all temperature values observed at an altitude were applied with a altitude correction in in the classification. So if there is an altitude, already the value will be changed. So there will be an altitude correction. Yes. और क्या लगेगी वो 5.6 degree Celsius per kilometer. Remember that lapse rate, average lapse rate. So that is where he is doing that. Sometimes he used G instead of H if there was a fall in temperature up to a height of 500 to 250 or 2500 meters. G stood for ग्लेशियर. ये जी भी यूज करता था अगर ग्लेशियर हो, एंड ग्लेशियर नीड नॉट बी वेरी हाई, इवन एट अ स्मॉल हाइट द टेम्परेचर विल चेंज. Everyone okay? That's also what we have included in this. With this, I would एन त्रिवार था, ऐसा कुछ क्वेश्चन नहीं आता, बट अगर क्लासिफिकेशन आ गया तो दैट इज दैट. एंड similarities में we can very well keep that as similarities, no problem in that. They are very similar to Coppens, but he has put his own criteria and he has limited his criteria. He's not going by what Koppen had done in the very beginning. Is everyone with me on this? Now we're coming to an area which is called applied climatology and climate change. So please brainstorm whatever comes to your mind on this, what and where applied climatology will be used, and what is climate change. That also I want you to brainstorm, and then we will talk about it. Quickly, you have 1 minute each. Climate change is a phenomena of changing of variation of climate. Okay. First, applied climatology. Application of climatology in meteorology. Okay. Applied climatology effect on climate. ठीक है. Also shapes the culture. Ladakh and Kerala. Considers vegetation. Applied climatology for agriculture. Okay, perfect. Used in economic areas, setting up of industry. So that is what applied climatology is all about. And above all, whatever you and I are talking about, use in various weather meteorological predictions, I get that. Tell me one thing, that right now, most of you are looking at that. don't you think that today's world is very much prone to hydrometeorological disasters? Hydrometeorological disasters, too much of cold waves, heat waves, sudden cloud burst, forecasting, all those things, they have got a very, very important use. Yes or no? Industries, crop pattern. So agriculture is a natural activity. It requires a lot of irrigation. Now that irrigation, where will the water come from? Whether it will come from the surface or whether it will come from the groundwater. I need to get that surface and groundwater management. For that, I need to know hydrology. That is where applied climatology will decide. Suppose there are aquifers. Aquifers have gone down, and I want to recharge the aquifers. So what will I do for recharging of aquifers? That will also be a question for us or not. So recharging of aquifers, that is also important. Yes. Now, uh, in this whole scenario, we are also looking at one is the water, other is the air. In the air, we have moisture. If there is too much of moisture becomes the fuel of tropical cyclones. Moisture becomes the fuel of tropical cyclones. If too much of moisture is there, your extreme weather events, cloud bursts, tropical cyclones, their frequency and intensity will increase. If too less is there, there will be dry spells. They can create droughts. That can also create desertification. And what good example we'll have is when we are talking of Santa Ana, those descending warm winds, they make the vegetation and the area and the soil more dry. And if there is fire, that fire can spread out more. So even in the control of fire, when we are talking about wildfire or something like in California, we are definitely having those things. True or not? So these are the practical things which we are looking at. In the world, we've already disturbed the balance of climate. Yes or no? So can I say the climate change itself needs to be looked into it, and the solution would come from the climate also? That's some area that we must be keeping in mind, and we must be working on them. So can I say everyone? Number one is the socio-economic betterment. Socio-economic के लिए हमें चाहिए. Can I say for ecological reasons climatology can be applied? Can I also say everyone, in industry, agriculture, that is this thing. Can I say human physiology and psychology? Human physiology means our body and its mechanisms and the spread of diseases. Physiological diseases are also being controlled by that. So through applied climatology, we can look at that. And human psychology, I'm saying even psychology, when we are talking of very cold climates, no sun, and all those things, low sun or no sun, both cases create a lot of depression in the minds. Yes. And when we are in the deserts में बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. In fact, 24 happened to be the hottest region, hottest year from record. So what we are looking at is that we are looking at the previous ones also, that applied climatology is not just into climate but also into other spheres. How will atmosphere impact? If it is the hottest one, will it cause the soil to get dry? Will it impact that also, the agriculture over there? Industries, say for example, industries which require water, those industries would be rationed or they would be asked to close down because of that. Sir, can we say intense polar vortex? Well, intense polar vortex, we've already talked about the heat wave and the cold waves. So there are sudden summer waves, Siberia mein heat waves ho gaya. Yes. Or severe cold, that is all because of your jet streams. Remember that jet streams, they will enclose that thing. So that's also there. So now we are looking at a very applied part of it. And as technology has improved, everyone, so our understanding and ability to use this knowledge is also going great. Yes. And applied climatology can have both the things. One is good, other can be the negative aspect also. Say for example, applied climatology will tell us where the rain will happen. So we can take those things. But applied climatology, we can use that applied climatology to create artificial rain. Now that artificial rain can leave some impacts in the atmosphere also, which we may not be able to manage. True or not? Yes or no, everyone? So that's what my intention and proposal to all of you is, that we need to look at that what is happening in these areas. Is everyone okay? तो एक definition लिख ले. Shall we write a definition of applied climatology? Whatever you've said is all correct. Climate change पे थोड़ी देर में आते. We'll talk about that also. Applied climatology. Please write down. The branch of climatology that is concerned with the application of the branch of climatology, the Saudi Arab cloud seeding. अभी सब लिखना शुरू करेंगे. The branch of climatology that is concerned with the application of climatological knowledge. Branch of climatology concerned with the application of climatological knowledge to practical problems. To practical problems. Climatic knowledge applied to that branch of climatology is called applied climatology. It is it helps in analyzing the impact of variables on impact of climatic variables on human lives and associated fields of study. कब से हो रहा है? Do you think applied climatology? If I look at in a temporal sense, कब से हो रहा है? Climatology, applied climatology is as old as like man has started living a settled life. Yes, definitely. I'm very sure that even in the ancient times, the knowledge of rainfall, the knowledge of winds, yes, they will be useful for people who are practicing agriculture, or people who are going into sea, the navigator, those sailing days and all that. Would they know or not? I would not say that it was very well documented. It was a very scientific branch of study at that time, but it was something very applied. So can I say it was traditional wisdom that was passed on from generation to generation? Yes, कि अगर इधर की हवा आती है तो इसका मतलब क्लाउड्स आ रहे हैं, इधर की हवा आएगी तो वार्म एंड मॉइस्ट होती है, इधर से कोल्ड हवा आती है, इसके बाद क्या होता है, समथिंग ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट. So that is there. So for very long it continued to be something that passed on from traditional from generation to generation. It was traditional wisdom. It was not documented. However, post the second world war, and particularly during the wars, the knowledge of surface winds, upper atmospheric winds, and the atmosphere hydrosphere interactions, that increased. And we also realized that the fallouts, the negative impacts of industrial revolution also created a lot of changes in the atmospheric conditions. So by 1970s, we were clear that like we need to address them, and for that, a lot of scientific and applied climatological aspect developed on purpose. So अभी तक तो क्या था, by default वो चल रहा था, but 1950s के बाद it worked, and by 1970s it really came into a very diverse form. So please write down. Temporally speaking, temporally speaking, the quest to apply climatological understanding, temporally speaking, the quest to apply climatological understanding into, or quest to apply uh, climatological understanding can be traced back to the ancient times, can be traced back to the ancient times. This is where, to the ancient times. This is where, to the ancient times. This is where the influence of atmospheric variables on human activities like agriculture, navigation, etc., was keenly observed, was keenly observed those generations, those generations developed their own traditional, generational wisdom of of climatic variations and used them used them intelligently, used them intelligently to to use them intelligently to improve the outcomes of those activities like farming, lumbering, animal rearing, navigation, etc. सब में उन्होंने यूज किया, सब में उनमें उन्होंने यूज किया. Ancient times. However, in those deterministic times, the climatic knowledge, the climatic knowledge was nothing more than a pre-advice, was nothing more than a pre-advice on on expected state of atmosphere. Those times, the climatology of those times was not a documented and scientifically directed academic activity. It was only after technological advancement, post industrial revolution, and post World War period that humans consciously developed the branch of applied climatology as a possibilistic tool to to use use modify and direct climatic elements for the betterment of human life. Is everyone okay? ठीक है, ये आपका टेम्पोरल भी बना दिया. एंड डिड आई यूज द वर्ड डिटर्मिनिस्टिक टाइम्स? एंड हैव आई ऑल्सो ब्रॉट इन द पॉसिबिलिस्टिक एस्पेक्ट ऑफ दैट? ट्रू. Human beings have progressively have progressively evolved into a generation capable of using applied climatological knowledge and its scientific application knowledge and its scientific application to specific problems, to specific problems in areas of agriculture, industry, trade, transport, और क्या, even tourism, epidemic या hazard management एटसेट्रा. एपिडेमिक्स मैंने हैजर्ड में ही काउंट कर लिया. ठीक है. The science has become multidisciplinary. The science is evolving into a multidisciplinary approach or multidisciplinary branch aimed at improving efficiency of various economic activities, influenced by climate. Various economic activities which are influenced by climate aid in the needs of the various societal activities where climatic variables play a role and we have to do something about that. And above all, manage and minimize the losses incurred from climatic hazards. Losses incurred from various climatic hazards are there. Okay, that. So ये है कुछ जनरल यूजेस भी देख लेते हैं. We can look at some of the general uses and then we will end on this. कुछ मैं कर रहा हूँ, कुछ ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग में ऐड कर देंगे. से फॉर एग्जांपल एनर्जी, say for example energy, say for example resources like water, food, when we are looking at food security, yes or no? say for example health, कुछ एग्जाम्पल ले रहे and we'll be adding more on those things. Use and development of energy resources. ठीक है, कैसे? Both fossil and fossil fuels and renewable sources. So how's applied climatology working on fossil fuel? How is applied climatology working on fossil fuel? Okay. So what we can do is we can find out so we know in a year which days will be very hot, which will be very cool, and help in assessing peak energy demand, average energy demand. If we know what will our energy demand be, will we know what to do? Will we know how to work with fossil fuels? Yes or no? How much will be demand? How can we manage? Which part will go into fossil? Which part will go into non-fossil? Yes or no? In this, evaluate the potential of a region for solar, wind. Yes or no? Then only I'll be doing this. Then only I'll be doing this. वाटर में क्या करेंगे? जल्दी से बताओ, वाटर में हाउ कैन अप्लाइड क्लाइमेटोलॉजी हेल्प अस? एक्सेस डेफिसिट असेसमेंट. एक्सेस में क्या हो जाएगा? फ्लड मैनेजमेंट, प्री वार्न एंड मैनेज. डेफिसिट में ड्रॉट एंड डेजर्टिफिकेशन. help in agriculture and industrial water use planning. Surface and ग्राउंड वाटर यूज प्लानिंग. सर ये कैसे पता चलेगा? तो लेट मी यूज अ बिग वर्ड विच विल रिमाइंड यू ऑफ अ बिग मैन. इवेपो ट्रांसपिरेशन पता करो. यस, ह्यूमिडिटी इंडेक्स एंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स. अप्लाइड क्लाइमेटोलॉजी लिखो थॉर्नटवाइट. Thornwright के ideas about this, will it work or not? Will it work or not? True? Ecosystem restoration and land degradation neutrality ये वर्ड आपने टेक्निकल वर्ड सुने. दिस इज द what should I call it? The decade, UN decade of ecosystem restoration. This is the UN decade of land degradation neutrality, where we are committed to, bring down the land degradation. Now, what happens is after drought, after groundwater and all that, after drought, what will happen? Desertification, land degradation will happen. How to restore it? How will I go with? How will I go with the groundwater recharge, rain water harvesting, control desertification? कैसे होगा ये? Even if I have to create, even if I have to create a tree belt, suppose a belt of trees to control desertification, उस बेल्ट को कैसे बनाएंगे? थॉर्न वाइट लग जाएगा उसमें, because thorn white says the vegetation will be decided by the climate, yes or no? Will we have to find out the ways in which we will be looking at the ways in which we will be looking at the plant need? होगा या नहीं होगा? फूड में क्या होगा? फूड में जल्दी बताओ क्या होगा? क्लाइमेट प्रूफिंग ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर. सर ये क्या होता है? Climate proofing is that you know what are the climatic threats to agriculture in this particular area. So you will already be informed, and accordingly you will get a chance to adapt agriculture to changing climate. अडेप्ट करना पड़ेगा कि नहीं? यस. Say for example, drought resistant seeds. Yes. Agroclimatically suitable crops. So agroclimatic suitability analysis. ये काम करना भी है कि नहीं? True or not? Forecast aid and advice. एग्रो एक्टिविटीज पहले ही बता दिया. पॉसिबल और नॉट? सो वी कैन अडेप्ट टू इट. सो हेल्प इन मिटिगेशन. सर ड्रिप इरिगेशन इन केस ऑफ वाटर डेफिसिट. मयंक यादव, ड्रिप इरिगेशन is not what applied climatology will do. Applied climatology will tell you the situation, and then you are given aid and advice. वो आप काम करेंगे, वो आपको काम करना है. I said ना, it is multidisciplinary now. So I can tell you that I can expect hail storm आएगा, आपकी फसल खराब हो सकती है. So आप उसके लिए क्या कर सकते हैं? Preparedness and mitigation for hazards. Climatic hazards जितने भी हैं उनके लिए आप प्रिपेयर्ड भी हैं, एंड मिटिगेट मींस मिनिमाइज भी कर सकते कि नहीं कर सकते? ट्रू. इसी में मुझे लगता है कि इंडस्ट्री एंड ट्रेड भी लगाना चाहिए. कहाँ है? कुछ जगह ही नहीं है, अब खत्म हो गया यार. रिसोर्स कर दिया. रिसोर्स के बाद इंडस्ट्री भी तो आना चाहिए ना. इंडस्ट्री में क्या करेगा? तो आपको बिल्डिंग बनानी है. सो बिल्डिंग एंड कंस्ट्रक्शन. Whether you should go ahead with that building or construction or not, एनर्जी कॉस्ट ऑफ दैट प्लेस, यहीं पर बनाना है नहीं बनाना है, ऑल दोज थिंग्स, शुड यू चूज अ साइट, लोकेशन ऑफ अ साइट, दैट इज ऑल्सो देयर, यस और नो, ट्रू। उसके बाद ट्रेड ट्रांसपोर्ट, ट्रेड ट्रांसपोर्ट कम्युनिकेशन, ट्रेड ट्रांसपोर्ट कम्युनिकेशन कॉमर्स, कहाँ पे मटेरियल को स्टोर करना है, what will be the design in relation to the climate, that your godowns should be climate proof and all those things, should it be there or not, होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए। हेल्थ में क्या है, डिजीज एंड मोर्टेलिटी, किस क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशन में, so tropical areas will have a different kind of diseases, yes or no, tropical area will have different kind of diseases, temperate areas will have different kind of diseases, yes or no, spread of epidemics, epidemiology, epidemiological analysis, ये monkey pox and other pox, will they increase, will the climate support it or not, say for example we're talking about covid, the covid itself was, like we were saying, in winters it will be less, in summers it will be more, whatever happened वो तो covid की मर्जी थी, but can we look at that or not, yes or no, can we identify, टूरिज्म के लिए, हेल्थ रिजॉर्ट के लिए, यस, कर सकते। इंडस्ट्री में एक और आएगा, क्लाइमेट इंजीनियरिंग, इसी में कर दूं, इन्वायरमेंटल में करता हूँ, से पेज भर गया अब, अरमान खत्म नहीं हुए मेरे, हाँ जी क्या करें। व्हाट इज क्लाइमेट इंजीनियरिंग, व्हाट इज क्लाइमेट इंजीनियरिंग, इन दिस यू आर गोइंग टू गो फॉर, क्या था अभी हमने बताया, आर्टिफिशियल रेन, आर्टिफिशियल रेन, एक्स्ट्रा कार्बन है उसका क्या करना है, कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन, सो क्लाउड सीडिंग, क्लाउड सीडिंग, कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन, यस, पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल के कई मेथड्स हो सकते हैं which can use our understanding of this, true or not, everyone with me on this, कर सकते हो आप, गिवन यू लॉट ऑफ क्लाइमेट अप्लाइड क्लाइमेटोलॉजी, कुछ आपको पूछना है तो पूछो, और उसके बाद जो भी होगा ये आंसर जो है ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग से आएगा। Are you with me on this? हो जाएगा अप्लाइड क्लाइमेटोलॉजी, इसी का एक एस्पेक्ट आई वांट टू शेयर विद यू। ये पेन में कहाँ रख देता हूँ चल के क्लाइमेट चेंज किया जाए, क्लाइमेट चेंज। क्लाइमेट चेंज हो भी रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है? मैंने सुना है that the global mean temperature is 1.4 degree 45 degree Celsius rise हो चुका है above the mean temperature which used to be 1850 to 1900 average। इसको क्या कहा जाता है? इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन यहाँ हुआ था ना, इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन के बाद से द टेम्परेचर हैज ऑलरेडी इंक्रीज बाय 1.45 डिग्री सेल्सियस। 2024 was the hottest recorded year I won't be surprised 25 will break this। पहले 23 चल रहा था। Yes or no? Oceans absorb 90%। Oceans absorb 90% of energy in climate systems। Ocean heating or warming is happening। Ocean heating or warming is happening, and from 1993 sea level rise नाइनटीन 93 में हमने रिकॉर्ड कीपिंग शुरू की थी, सैटेलाइट एल्टीमेट्री। बिगिनिंग ऑफ record keeping। Very, very important things I have highlighted for you। ये हो रहा है, चिंता करें या नहीं करें? शुड वी वरी अबाउट इट और सब चंगा सी? शुड वी वरी अबाउट इट और नॉट? That's my first question, and then we will understand what is this whole thing that is happening। फिर वो डोनाल्ड ट्रंप क्या करने वाला है? गल्फ ऑफ मेक्सिको का नाम चेंज करेगा। क्या लिखेगा? मिलेनी ट्रंप लिखेगा उसका नाम, या उसके फ्रेंड इलॉन गल्फ ऑफ इलॉन लिखेगा, या गल्फ ऑफ मेलनी लिखेगा? क्या लिखना चाहता है वो? 3 घंटे खड़े होकर सब कुछ स्टिफ हो रहा है। हाँ जी। वरी 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 शुड वरी व्हाई शुड यू वरी? वर द डायनासोर्स वरीड? ह्यूमन बीइंग ये ना चिंता बहुत करता है यार। नो एक्शन लेना है सर खुद को। व्हाई शुड वी वरी? व्हाई शुड वी वरी? ये बताओ, डायनासोर्स वर दे वरीड? चिल खा के गए, एकदम बढ़िया से रहे, सब चंगा सी टाइप चल रहा था उनका। जब मौका मिलता था किसी को भी खा जाते थे, कोई ऐसा चुनाव उनाव नहीं होता था उनमें। माइट इज राइट। डायनासोर, डू यू थिंक द फिश आर वरीड? आई डोंट नो, वैसे मेरी बात नहीं हुई फिश से, और यू नो आई हैव नॉट टेकन अ क्लास विद फिशेस. फिशेस या फिश, फिश ही होता है. व्हाई आर वी वरीड? क्लाइमेट चेंज, is it happening for the first time on the planet? I want to tell you that climate change is a rule, it is not an exception. Sir, Trump also announced to come out of Paris Agreement of 2016. अरे WHO छोड़ दिया तो कुछ हो गया क्या? WHO छोड़ दिया ना उसने, तो अमेरिका में बहुत हेल्थ हो रही है. सी द रिच आर गेटिंग रिचर. सो ओशियानिक एसिडिटी लीडिंग डिसबैलेंस इन इकोसिस्टम. हाँ ठीक है रोशनी, इससे पहले भी हुआ है. हैज इट नॉट हैपेंड बिफोर? सर एजिंग पॉपुलेशन इंक्रीज हो रही है. पिंकी ने कहा एजिंग पॉपुलेशन, तो एंटी एजिंग क्रीम लगाओ पिंकी, टेंशन में क्यों? वैसे भी जो पैदा हुआ उसकी उम्र तो बढ़ेगी बढ़ेगी. बताओ कितना तगड़ा वाला वो रीजन दिया है. सर वी शुड वरी बिकॉज एजिंग पॉपुलेशन इज हैपनिंग. यस और नो? सो एवरीवन, first thing is climate change is a rule. It has happened for since the evolution of the planet. तो ह्यूमंस को अपनी लाइफ की बहुत चिंता होती है. ह्यूमंस को तो पता नहीं, मतलब जिसके पास है, गरीब आदमी तो जी रहा मर रहा, एक ही बात है. ट्रू. सो एवरीवन, climate change is a rule on the planet. It will happen, and not only here, everywhere it will happen. Everywhere it will happen. Because climate change happens naturally. Climate change absolutely happens naturally. अब सवाल ये आता है, then why worry if it is happening naturally? So somehow we are looking at the changes which are happening today. The changes which are happening today are not the way they were happening in the past. ऐसा नहीं है कि जो पहले होता था वो हम देख सके. Yes or no? ठीक है. So they were happening, but they haven't happened this way. So how do we know? How do we know that they were happening in a different way? So there is a branch called paleoclimatology. There is a branch which is called paleoclimatology, in which we study the ice cores. We go and take samples of ice from Antarctica. Get that? From the study of those ice samples, radio isotopes are there. We can study that. From the study of tree rings, from the study of pollen deposits in the bottom, scientists have found out techniques through which they can identify phases in which climate change has happened. And definitely climate change happens. We have had warm periods. So I want to tell you that we are talking about, ice melting on the poles and all that. So in the Mesozoic era, in the Mesozoic times when dinosaurs were there, it was definitely a warmer time. The polar ice was very very less. Polar ice नहीं थी उधर, कम थी. So there were warm times. And we know 2 million years ago, what did we have? We had Pleistocene ice age. So there have been glacial periods, there have been interglacial periods. There is no doubt about that. वो तो रहते ही रहते. They are very much there. They are very much there. But when we looked at those samples, we found that this glacial age came, when it came slowly. It came in probably 10,000, 20,000 years, 30,000 years, things changed. And hot period came like this, cold period came like this. There are cycles as long as 1 lakh years. So it takes 1 lakh years for that parameter to change. Now 1 lakh year, think about it, 30,000 years, 40,000 years for things to change, and 40 hours. Which one can we adapt to? Something you are given 40,000 years, mend your ways. जो करना है कर लो, आपके पास 40,000 साल हैं. And other is, you have, say for example, 40 years. 40 years मतलब एक ही जनरेशन में चीजें बदल जाएंगी. The way things are changing, I have been teaching for nearly now 20 years, and I have been following the discussions that were happening in this United Nations framework on climate change. So for very long they were talking about controlling that let us stop climate change from happening. Let us stop global warming. Within these 20 years, I realized they are not saying stop global warming. Now they are saying global warming has happened. Let us learn to deal with it. Let us learn to deal with it. Now, in that dealing, they said, okay, let us learn to deal with it. Let us draw a line beyond which we will not allow the climate or the temperature to increase. So they drew the line in Paris, which was 2 degrees Celsius, and they said 2 degrees Celsius is the global thing. We will stop much below that 1.5 itself. 2 तो कभी आएगा ही नहीं. Within पेरिस तो अभी शुरू हुआ था. Yes or no? पेरिस तो अभी से लागू होना था 2020 से. Within 3 years, we have crossed that 1.5. This time we touched 1.5. Paris was supposed to be, like 1.5 will never come. 2 is the target. We will agree on that. In my life, in my 20 years of life, I have seen people talking about climate in a particular way that we will avoid it, then we are dealing with it, and now many of them are saying that it has gone beyond my reach. Now, when I go and look for climate change in the past through those paleoclimatological study, I see that I got around 40,000 years to change. And today I am looking at within 40 years. Within 40 years, things are changing. Now tell me, that is dangerous or not? आपको टाइम ही नहीं मिलेगा रिस्पॉन्स का. आपको रिस्पॉन्स का टाइम ही नहीं मिलेगा. Suddenly the notification came. Notification, UPSC notification 2025 has come, and they say that जनवरी एंड हो रहा है. 14th फरवरी को प्रीलिम्स है. हो गया आपका जितना भी लव अफेयर करना है. गेट योर अल्टीमेट लव अफेयर. सचमुच में असली वैलेंटाइन बनेगा 14th फरवरी. आई एम सेइंग देयर इज नो टाइम फॉर दैट. Suddenly it will be a problem or not? It will be a problem. So that's what we are talking about, that in the climate change that we are witnessing today, the rate is unprecedented. So when the rate is unprecedented, you have to take actions immediately. So imagine you are on a bicycle. You are on a bicycle and you are on the road and you can see some people coming. So you are wondering, when they come close to me, I will decide how to navigate through them. Yes or no? But now imagine you are on a Formula 1 car moving at a speed of 300 kilometers per hour. And there are some people, village people who you can see at a distance. By the time you decide, you will see that you've already reached them, yes or no? And you'll find, so many people with those luxury cars, किसी पर भी चढ़ जाते हैं. रात को इसे मार डाला, उसे मार डाला. So many cases we are looking at, and these cases, some of the cases have come into media. That is why they are highlighted. Otherwise तो normally बहुत सारे highlight भी नहीं होते. कितने लोग मारे जाते हैं? Why? Because of the vehicle that you are using. Your vehicle has such a great speed, you can't manage it. So when we are talking about climate change, it is the change in the state of the climate. Change in the state of climate from its average conditions, and which are changing now, and they are not changing for 1 day or 2 days. Say for example, we had winter season for 1 month. So that's okay. But changing ka matlab for a decade or so. For a decade or so. So generally I remember from my childhood days, 2-3 महीने के लिए हम लोगों के यहाँ सर्दी रहती थी. नॉर्थ इंडिया में अच्छी कड़ाके की सर्दी पड़ेगी. बचपन से याद है, उसके स्पेशल कपड़े भी निकालेंगे, सब कुछ होगा. यहाँ कहाँ पड़ी है सर्दी? I put a muffler. This is just a cotton t-shirt that I am wearing. कॉटन टी शर्ट पे ये सोच कर कि यार अगर सर्दी लगी तो एक मफलर तो रख लो. वी आर इन जनवरी और आई एम टेलिंग यू दैट दिस इज कॉजिंग स्वेटिंग. सर्दी तो गई. So the change is going to happen, but change will not happen only for 23. It will be applicable for 23 onwards to 33. And the change is progressively going to bring changes. That's what we are talking about. Donald Trump, when he comes and he says that, climate change is a hoax. It's a fake thing. It is happening naturally. You can check. It has happened in the past also. हम लोग कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं. सब चंगासी. And he is at the same time, blaming the authorities in California for the fire. भाई सुनो यार, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं विच आर चेंजिंग। अभी जनवरी है सर, अभी से समर आ गया है। ओ येस्टरडे आई वाज टॉकिंग टू माय मदर एंड आई सेड माँ टुडे वाज प्रीटी हॉट। शी सेड हाँ यार आज तो मुझे भी मतलब दोपहर में ऐसा लगा कि पसीना आ रहा है। आई एम सेइंग वेयर इज द विंटर? एंड इफ द विंटर डजंट कम, if the winter doesn't come, if it is 11 month of summers, time to change Thornwhite, time to change Trivartha, time to change Koppinske rules. Yes or no? Those climatic classification, time to change them or not? And if every month, if 11 months are going to be hot and dry, will the proneness of the forest to catch fire increase or not? And if the forests are not natural forests are trained for that ecosystem. Say for example, the CS region. What is CS region? Mediterranean climate. Mediterranean climate में क्या होगा? Winter rain will happen. That means their summer season are dry. Where do you need more water? In summer or winter? So we need more water in summer. और उसमें उनको पानी नहीं मिलेगा. They will not get water in summer. They will get water in winter when they don't want that water. Yes or no? So should the plant be prepared to withstand a prolonged dry hot summer? Mother Nature has blessed the Mediterranean vegetation with drought-resistant variety of trees. The trees which can withstand drought, and they are even fire retardant. Because what will happen is when you have a prolonged dry summer, there is a chance of fire. So the trees will not burn. They are fire retardant, they can withstand drought also. Do you know California is a Mediterranean region? कैलिफोर्निया नीचे डेजर्ट है, उसके नॉर्थ में मेडिटेरेनियन रीजन है. सो बाय नेचर these forests should have withstood the fire. But what is happening is we human beings have removed the natural vegetation and we have created those artificial trees which are decorative, beautiful trees. They are not very strong, sturdy, natural vegetation. We have changed them with artificial, beautiful vegetation which looks good to the eyes. It's absolutely okay. But जब मार पड़ेगी, when they are hit, then the natural vegetation can take it more. ये तो और भी तेजी से जलेंगे. True or not? And not only that, for the beautification, even the houses, the buildings have a lot of use of wood and plastics. So when they catch fire, they are not going to fight fire, they're going to wait and burn completely. Yes or no? So climate change is very much reality and it's happened in a lifetime. So that is what the present alarm about climate change is, that climate change, the way it is happening, if we look at the scientific studies which paleoclimatology does tell us about this thing, we find that the present climate change is very different. Some people also say that Earth is a planet revolving around the sun, and planetary motions will cause Earth's heat to change from time to time. That is also true. Yes. A Serbian geophysicist, his name is Milutin Milankovic. Milankovic studied the impact of Earth's orbital path, be it revolution or rotation, on Earth's climate. And he found, yes, Earth's revolution and rotation are variable, and because of variation in Earth's rotation and revolution, definitely climate can change. So Milutin Milankovic does accept that, but Milutin Milankovic, when he studied them, he created something which is popularly called as the Milankovitch cycles. He says that Earth's changes in orbit of revolution or axis of tilt or its rotation happens in cycles, and those cycles generally take thousands of years. Now those cycles definitely bring change in the Earth's heat, but not in a scale of 100 years, 150 years, 200 years, which has happened just now. Do we get that? So when I write, compared to 1850, I am in 2023. I am in, sorry, 2025. So where am I? I am just 175 years. And within 175 years, the temperatures have gone up so much it has never happened. Do we get that? So data भी आपको दिया, कुछ नाम भी बता रहा हूँ. Some techniques also, paleoclimatology, I'll make you write down next time. I've also talked about Milutin-Milankovitch cycles. So natural causes are there, but those natural causes are not responsible for the contemporary climate change. Is everyone with me on that? That's my first assertion. Second assertion is the rate at which it is happening, will not give us time to adapt. Remember, applied climatology says it will help you in adapting. You and I will not be able to adapt. And I also want to tell you, when Donald Trump says that, climate change is natural, Donald Trump has so much money with him that he can survive. Think about the poor Caribbean countries which are next to USA in the Gulf of Mexico, which will be hit by these extreme weather events. Think about poor countries, developing countries in the tropical areas where the impact of climate change is going to be much higher. Their vulnerability is much higher. There are agencies which are calculating the vulnerability of climate change's impact, and this German agency has come up with the study that India as a country is the seventh most prone and impacted country by climate change. So seventh most prone with the largest population in the world, and you know how much resources and financial muscle the government has to deal with them. True or not? So the danger is coming here in our face, staring in our face, and we are looking here. Ah, that's what is happening. The humanity seems to be behaving like an ostrich, not facing the danger but looking away from it. That is the problem that we are talking about in the climate change today. Get that? And the last, not the least, with which I would like to end the class is that if somebody dies today, some part of the world, I may not be impacted. But if somebody dies today because of my act for which I am responsible, I will have to take that guilt, that moral responsibility of that. Yes or no? So scientists have very clearly come up with this finding, very clear research finding, that the contemporary climate change which is there is necessarily, essentially man-made anthropogenic climate change. If I have done it, if I am causing this, and if I am causing an irreplaceable damage, irreparable damage, then the moral onus, responsibility also lies on me that I do something about it. Do we get that? So in geography, we are not going to deal with these moral questions. In geography, we should be dealing with spatial questions. Which areas will be hit more? What will be the manifestation of the hit to these areas? How could these areas be dealing or be prepared with them? Yes? हाँ जी, so that is what we are talking about. So climate change पर कल बात करेंगे. प्लीज रीड समथिंग. कोई बोल रहा है यहाँ पे डाउन टू अर्थ की बात कर रहा है सर. रिपोर्ट ऑन इफेक्ट डोनाल्ड ट्रंप 2.0 on climate debate. Please do read these debates. I would say down to earth is important. Yeah, down to earth is doing good work. पढ़ के आएंगे क्लाइमेट चेंज पे क्या चल रहा है. सर अब मैं लाइव क्लास करना चाहता हूँ. प्लीज़ न्यू टॉपिक ओशनोग्राफी कब स्टार्ट होगा. आई ट्राई टू कंप्लीट माई बैकलॉग्स बट नाउ आई वांट टू प्रेजेंट इन द लाइव क्लासेस. सो दिस student's name is Abhay. So Abhay, tomorrow everyone, please look at the link. If that is active, then I'll take a class tomorrow. Otherwise, day after tomorrow. I'll try and do that because I'm looking at doctor where I can meet him. My classes are also not disturbed, and if there can be a time slot. But this also involves some medical testing and all that, so I need to go to the lab to collect reports and all. So that is taking some time. So if the class is scheduled tomorrow, I'll take the class. So this is the week that I am talking about. Applied climatology. From Monday onwards, we will start the new topic of oceanography. Abhay, I hope you got your answer. मंडे से हम वो करने वाले हैं. अब हमारा टॉपिक क्या रह गया? क्लाइमेट चेंज और साइक्लोन्स रह गया ना. साइक्लोन्स. So I have to talk about cyclones also. So I'll try and see if that class can happen tomorrow and day after. If not, we will see that. But Monday is my plan where I will be doing that. Sir, all articles which you have given in the previous class are done. Next target बेटा अगली क्लास में बात करेंगे. अभी तो I'll have to wind up the class. सर पॉलिटी टॉपिक जो आपने बताए थे मैंने कंप्लीट कर लिए, बहुत अच्छी बात है. People who have done your in modern history, have you done your modern history? I did talk about that also. Class 12th NCERT, modern history, modern Indian history. If you're done with that, please take your NCERT. Probably you can take a target till Sunday. If you've not done that, please complete your NCERT in modern. If you've done modern, go for ancient and medieval NCERT. Sunday तक का target रखें, खत्म कर दीजिए. People who are preparing for 2025, you need to manage that time. Get that? And I started the class mentioning another Aditya who's secured a good rank. I'm saying you can also very well do that, but not just by thinking. It has to be through action. So all the best. I'll see you in the next class. Bye bye. Take care. Jai Hind.